let's talk about fractions. Working with fractions is a very important foundation to algebra. In this video, we'll be reviewing on how to reduce, multiply, divide, add, and subtract fractions. So let's start with reducing fractions first. To reduce fractions or reducing fractions is just simply done by dividing both the numerator and denominator by the same number. Say for example, we're given 36 over 84, or 36 divided by 84. 36 here is our numerator and 84 is our denominator. So both the numerator and denominator here are divisible by 4. So we divide 36 and 84 by 4 and we get 9 over 21. Both the numerator and denominator here are still divisible by 3. So we can further reduce 9 over 21 by dividing both 9 and 21 by 3. So that would be 9 divided by 3 over 21 divided by 3. So we will get 3 over 7, and that is our final answer. Okay. Let's go to multiplying fractions. The easiest operation with fractions is multiplication. So we can just multiply fractions by multiplying straight across, multiplying numerators together and denominators together. Say for example, this one, 6 over 7 times 3 over 5. So we just multiply the numerators across and denominators across. So that would be 6 times 3 over 7 times 5. So we will get an answer of 18 over 35. So when multiplying, we can reduce our fractions before we multiply, or we can just reduce it later, okay, when we get our final answer. Okay, another example. 25 over 24 times 32 over 55. So we can, in here, we can reduce 25 and 55 by dividing by 5, and we can reduce 32 and 24 by dividing by 8. So when we do that, we get 5 over 3 times 4 over 11. And now we can multiply the numerators and denominators across. Then we can get, we get 20 over 33 as our answer. We cannot further reduce 20 over 33. So that is our final answer. Now let's go to division of fractions. Dividing fractions is very similar to multiplying with one extra step. So dividing fractions requires us to first take the reciprocal of the second fraction and multiply. Then once we do this, the multiplication problem solves just as the previous problem. Okay, say for example, we're given 21 over 16 divided by 28 over 6. So we get the reciprocal of 28 over 6, and that would be 6 over 28. So we just flip it. Reciprocal. So we just flip the fraction. The numerator would become our denominator, and our denominator would become our numerator. So we have 21 over 6 divided by 6 over 28. So we can reduce 21 and 28 by dividing by 8. And we can reduce 6 and 16 by dividing by 2. So this is what we get. 3 over 8 times 3 over 4. Then we multiply numerators across and denominators across. So that would be 3 times 3 divided by 8 times 4. So we get 9 over 32 as our answer. Okay. Let's go to adding and subtracting fractions. To add and subtract fractions, we will first have to find the least common denominator, which is our LCD. And there are several ways to find an LCD. So one way is to find the smallest multiple of the largest denominator that you can also divide the small denominator by. Okay, for example, let's try to find the LCD of 8 and 12. So we test multiples of 12 here. So if we choose 12 as our LCD, is 12 divisible by 8? Well, it can't divide. So 12 is not divisible by 8. So let's try another multiple of 12, which is 24. So is 24 divisible by 8? Yes. Therefore, our LCD is equal to 24. Another example. Okay, what if we're given 7 over 8 plus 3 over 8? So in this case, both the fractions have the same denominator, so we just have to add the numerators 7 and 3. So that would become 7 plus 3 over the common denominator, which is 8. So we will get 10 over 8. Well, 10 over 8 can be further reduced, so we can reduce 10 over 8 by dividing by 2. So we get 5 over 4 as our answer. Actually, 5 over 4 can be written as a mixed number, but we can stick to our answer. We can write our answer as an improper fraction. Okay, another example. 13 over 6 minus 9 over 6. So both the fractions have the same denominators. We just have to subtract the numerators 13 and 9. So it would become 13 minus 9 over 6. That would be equal to 4 over 6. 4 over 6 can be further reduced by dividing by 2. So we get the answer of 2 over 3, or 2/3. Okay, let's take note that if the denominators do not match, we will first have to identify the LCD and build up each fraction by multiplying the numerators and denominators by the same number, so the denominator is built up to the LCD. Say for example, 5 over 6 plus 4 over 9. So the LCD here is 18, because 18 is divisible by both 6 and 9. So to make the denominator equal to 18, we multiply the first fraction by 3 and the second fraction by 2. And that would become 15 over 8 plus 8 over 18. Now the fractions have the same denominator, so we just have to add the numerators of 15 and 8. So that would be 15 plus 8 over 18. So that would become 23 over 18. So that is our final answer. Another example, 2/3 minus 1/6. So our LCD here is 6, which is both divisible by 3 and 6. So to make our denominator equal to 6 for both fractions, we multiply the first fraction by 2. The second fraction, we don't need to multiply it by any number because the denominator is already 6. So by doing so, for the first fraction, we will get 4 over 6 minus 1 over 6. And now the fractions have the same denominators, so we just have to subtract numerators 4 and 1. So that would be 4 minus 1 over 6. Then that would be equal to 3 over 6. 3 over 6 can be further reduced by dividing by 3, both the numerator and denominator. So that would equal to 1/2. That is our final answer. So I hope you understood everything in this video. I wrote here some practice problems for you to work on, from reducing fractions or simplifying fractions, finding the product, quotient, and addition and subtraction of fractions. So have a great day, everyone. Please like and subscribe. For the answers of these problems, if you have answers, then you can just comment below. You can just write your answers in the comment section.